I enlisted in the Coast Guard. I was 17 and a half years old.
I was in the infantry in the Army. I served in Korea and Japan. In those days, I couldn't even find Korea in the map.
I was in the United States Army, the Signal Corps. I wasn't drafted, I enlisted.
I served in the Navy.
I was in Company L, 30th Infantry.
I was in the Navy during World War II, between 1943 and 1946.
We went through basic training.
Tested for different things, and I qualified for radio school, radio op. We had to further learn the German code. The code was coming through at 25 words a minute, and typing was 25 words a minute. You'd hear a blur, and we were decoding.
I wound up in the Pacific for approximately 21 to 22 months. We installed all the ground support equipment for the Air Corps.
We went up to the Arctic Circle, up to Greenland, Iceland, up to the North Sea. We did submarine patrol. I have two pictures. One of the ship is up like this, and the water is cascading over her. And the next one, it looks like a submarine. It's way down. And we lived like that for 30 days at a time. We bounced and bounced, but I never got seasick. Never got seasick. I did get land sick.
It took 30 days to go on the boat. I was as sick as a dog every day.
About 50 ships and about 14 destroyer escorts running up and down. Had a hospital ship. It was a city traveling across the Atlantic Ocean and into the Mediterranean area.
We landed in Italy in a place called Salerno, fought our way inwards towards Naples, and we landed at a place called Anzio.
We used to sleep in a bunk where you couldn't turn over because your shoulder would hit the guy on top of you. And we had to have a strap across our chest and a strap across our legs because you laid on your back and you went like this all night long.
Radar had just been recently invented. We took sights with a sextant. That was my job on the ship.
Every time we went somewhere, it was into combat. So somebody had to do it.
And if anybody says that who was in combat or near combat or around it, that they weren't scared, they're either a moron or a liar.
You don't think about what they are, what they were, and how big they are, and whether they're dark or light. You just fire.
We left Iwo Jima a few days before the island was secure. We went back to Ulithi.
And we spoke about getting ready for the invasion of Japan.
Maybe 1 o'clock in the morning, I was on duty, and all of a sudden we heard shots and firing, and somebody went down to wake up the captain. By the time he came up, we realized that it was a celebration, that the war was over.
The Enola Gray took off from Tinian and dropped the first atomic bomb on Hiroshima.
The whole plan changed. I never had to go to Tokyo.
And of course, the war ended about maybe 3 weeks or a month later. And they shipped me back to my home base at Hickam Field. There was no pressure, the war was over. I got this feeling of terrible insecurity. I've been in the Army for 4 years, that's all I knew.
I think it did me very well. Not to lose your temper, not to be nasty, and try and do as well as you can to everybody.
There was a thing that said something about how'd you connect with your family in Korea. I used to love salami. My family would send the salami over every week in Korea.
You mix up with so many different kinds of people and different kind of situations, you have to evaluate them pretty quickly. And I think I came to that conclusion when I was on the boat.
You just never know what the future brings. I thought I would be gone 40 years ago. Who knows?